He managed to bring Cloud9 into 7th, escaping relegation and still holding on to a hope of going to Worlds. Hi, your return seems to have been a success. Would you agree?
I think my job here is done.
Okay. So now we're gonna go into retirement part 2.
Give it due time. It depends if we get to the Worlds or not. Ideally speaking, well, Jack just said I'm like stuck with Cloud9 forever, as in like so he's not giving me the freedom. But I was kidding about that. But yeah, we pulled back from where we were and got 7th, which isn't ideal, but we still have a chance at Worlds. Now it's like way better than relegation. So like I feel like pretty accomplished with the thing I did here.
Yeah. Let's say you guys don't go to Worlds or like the points just don't work out that way, then are you done? Or are you still thinking about playing next year? Like what's going on in your head right now?
Well, we have a lot of time during the off season from summer split to spring split in the case we don't get to Worlds. So I'm sure we'll go look at every avenue we can to see the best team roster that we can field for next split. If that includes me, great. If not, then that's perfectly fine as well. So I just want C9 to be the best team possible, whether I'm managing it or whether I'm playing for it. We'll be able to figure that out in the off season.
What do you guys do for the next couple of weeks? Because there's a chance that you might be going into the gauntlet, but then there's a chance you might not be. So do you practice for the whole thing? You're kind of in a strange position.
So I think with the way the points are working out, TSM and TL have to get 5th or 6th, I think, and every other team has to get 1 through 4th or whatever for us not to get enough points since we have 70 from the first split. So I think it's unlikely that TSM and Team Liquid get 5th and 6th. Maybe one of them could, but not both. So I believe we're just going to practice, assuming we're going to get the playoffs, because there's no harm in practicing. At the very worst, we just waste two weeks of practice. But at the very best, we get into gauntlets and we're practice for it. So
very good. So you'll just go back. Are you going to take any time off, or is there going to be a break for you guys for a little bit, since you guys, I'm sure, put a ton into getting these last couple of wins?
We haven't discussed break time yet, since we're just only focused on this. Every team takes Monday offs now, so we have Monday off. I think I'll try to talk to Jack and be like, hey, give the players 2 to 3 days off. We can start scrimming later. So maybe next week we just take off like Tuesday and Wednesday. I think it's important for the players to recuperate and kind of relax. There's also a new patch 5.14, which is going to be the patch that playoffs is played on, I believe. So I want us to spend time on that patch and just to relax and like get your head back in the game, Yeah. So I'll talk to Jack and like convince him to like, give us 2 days off or so.
Play some new Gangplank?
All right. That new Gangplank is sweet. I had an argument with Phreak about it. He told me Triforce is better on Gangplank than Haidra. However, I think Hydra's better because you Q the barrel, it does fat AoE splash damage from your Haidra, you lifesteal from it, and it blows up. Come on, dude. That's like swag points 101. And then like if you Q a creep with it and it kills another creep with the Haidra, that counts for the money. Whereas Triforce, it doesn't. And it's like 10% crit on Triforce. Who cares about that? You can build that later.
So do you think that you guys might just both be biased? Because obviously everyone knows that he's a big fan of Triforce, but then Haidra literally is Haidra, like high is in your name. Do you think that there's some sort of inherent bias between you guys in that argument?
I think Haidra is just superior in every single way on Gangplank. Yeah.
Fair enough. Are you going to play Gangplank jungle? Is that a thing? Could we do that?
He looks pretty cool. If I don't die before level 6, I think he could be good. If I ever get Haidra, his clear is insane. I feel like you don't make that much money for your Q, though, since there's not that many creeps. So he's probably bad, but, I mean, I'll give it a shot because champion's cool.
That'd be cool. I'm a big fan of Gangplank. What else do you think about the new patch? 14? Yeah. I almost said 4.14, 5.14.
Yeah, so they did a lot of changes. Also, playoffs will be on the new HUD. So there's a lot of changes from now to playoffs. So players have to get used to the new HUD. Lease just became monstrously broken. They nerfed some champions. I don't remember which ones, like Ryze and stuff like that. So Ryze might not be a perma status ban anymore. And they changed an item, Zeke's World. There's a new item that's like Zeke's Harbinger or something like that, which is really cool of an item. So there's going to be a massive change. And I'm looking forward to seeing Elise bans. Nice. Or, we bring back the original Elise player. I don't know who that is, but there's someone that mains Elise on our team.
Yeah. That would be interesting. So, good changes. By the way, what do you think of the HUD?
I personally think it sucks just because, I mean, I was playing around with it. I'm sure I'd get used to it anyway. Obviously, no one likes change, so in the beginning, people are going to be like super against it. It's not that it's like terrible, so like I'm over exaggerating when I say it sucks. I think it's like pretty. I think it's good. I just feel like there should be a few minor adjustments that they do or allow people to do that would make it infinitely better. For me personally, I feel very awkward without having anything at the bottom left of the screen. There's like just a chat box up there and an empty space. That feels really weird for me. I don't like that at all. So I'd prefer like having the ability to like move things around possibly, or like just having it. I don't know. There's just something off about it that I don't like. It's just, yeah.
Isn't that a great place though for a rotating ad that shows Cloud9 sponsors and merchandise in the store and all that kind of thing?
But I mean, if you look at the current overlay, we already have that there anyway. So like, there's like the spot between the champion and the abilities, the spot to the right of the mini map and the thing for webcam, and you know. So it's not like the ad spacing gets any better. We there's already there on the stream, so like they're just condensing a lot of the information, which I feel like isn't necessary. So I mean, I'm sure Riot will figure out what's best for them since it's a very popular game and they built it this way. But hopefully they give us more option to customize things, or maybe look into feedback for it. But I'm sure people will get used to it.
Is there anything in particular you would like to customize about it?
I don't like the fact that I can't see the stats on a character, like my stats right away without pressing C. I like having it see it there because like I don't know, I like buying an item and seeing the AP there, and like, you know, I'm just walking around staring at my AP and like, you know, just like, oh dude, I'm so strong, you know. Okay. No, I think it's useful to see that information, and I just prefer that to have it in a better window because the window it's in currently is really bad, in my opinion. So,
well, my opinion is that spectator mode sucks. So we'll see if I talk about that, because that was my big disappointment, was that the HUD changed, but there weren't any changes to spectator mode. Yeah, like for like when you're watching LCS, there's so much data, and I don't know if it's put out very well. So I think that's kind of my disappointment. Have you ever thought about that?
I think that's a good point because you look at our spectator client and it's kind of lacking in a lot of features that other clients have. So I'm sure Riot has heard the community and pro players like complaints about the spectator client, because when we practice scrims, we can't really go through the replay easily unless we have someone that stays in the game for us to rewind and things like that. So if there's an easier way to just have replays and things like that, it improves the quality of play that we could do. So I believe Riot has to be working on something to make it work. Otherwise, the game is just going to fall into the ditch 2 years from now. But they have a lot of people working for them. They're smart people. I'm sure they're doing something to like improve that aspect for players and people.
Very good. Is there anything that you would like to say to any of the fans out there, Hank?
Yeah, this was an interesting split, to say the least. I appreciate everybody that's been sticking through with it on us. I haven't seen too much, you know, like bad things pointed at people, so I'm thankful for you guys for being not necessarily kind, but not necessarily assholes either, you know? So they're like, they're good kids, I would say. Okay. Very good kids. Yeah.
Well, for all you good kids out there, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things League of Legends at GameSpot.com/LOL.